Hey everyone, Mars8 here bringing you our first album review of 2017, and today we're going to be checking out One OK Rock's latest album, Ambitions. Let's get into it, and right off the bat I'm just going to let you guys know this is probably going to be one of my harsher reviews. The title of this album is kind of ironic to me because it states exactly what's lacking on this album. Any ambitions to make any changes to a subgenre that has been basically beaten to the ground harder than Glenn's head was in The Walking Dead are basically vacant, completely vacant from this album. For the North American release, the band, for whatever reason, either by request from the record label or by their own choice, decided to do away entirely with the one thing that sets them apart from many of the other bands in this genre. And that is their signature style of effortlessly blending the English to Japanese vocals. They instead opted strictly for English lyrics. What we end up with is an album that is filled with pretty catchy beats and riffs, but is still a pretty bare bones and lackluster pop rock album that has a few sparks of potential here and there, but is few and far between. What's worse is that there's actually two versions of this album. One is the North American version released by Fueled by Raymond, which is the one we're currently talking about and is the one that only has English lyrics, and the other is the Japanese version, which in my opinion is the true version of the album. They incorporate their English to Japanese lyric style on this version, and in my opinion it sounds a hell of a lot better and a hell of a lot more interesting than the one that we got. It's almost as if either Fueled by Raymond or the band, or maybe even both of them, thought that they would be able to sell more copies if they were more appealing to the general audiences of the US and UK. Now, I certainly hope this isn't the case because we kind of have a term for that, and it's called selling out. Now listen, I'm not trying to call anybody out here, I'm just saying that looks kind of weird. Like, you know, it could be something entirely different. It could be some weird agreement between Fueled by Raymond and the record label that's releasing the Japanese version. That could be the situation. But if it is a situation where either the label or the band is afraid to release this Japanese to English lyric style, my question is kind of why? Why are you afraid of that? With the rise of popularity of baby metal, who actively push Japanese lyrics into their songs, I was hoping that more of these bands would pop up on the radar. This is actually what I was hoping when I first discovered One OK Rock. So it's disappointing to me to see that that's not the way they went. But like I said, it could be something entirely different. Now, both versions of the album got exclusive songs to them. The North American version got Jaded, which features Alex Gaskarth of All Time Low as a guest vocalist, and is probably one of the more interesting songs on the release. It has kind of an All Time Low vibe going for it. And the Japanese version got a song called 2020 and a version of Listen, which features Avril Lavigne as a guest vocalist, and it is leagues better than the North American version, which has no guest vocalist. Like, they literally wrote a song made for a duet and then completely removed the duet element from it from the North American release, making the song both repetitive and awkward. I don't want to be too harsh on this album, I really don't, and you guys know that I try my best to be fair, but I know these guys can do better, and I've seen them do better, both in style and in lyrics. Yeah, that's another thing on this album. The lyrics are as shallow as hell. Like, they were written for a 12-year-old girl who just got out of her Bieber/One Direction phase and wanted something a little more edgier. That being said, there are some songs on this album that are pretty damn good. Like I said before, Jaded felt like something that would fit right into the All Time Low demographic, and We Are is a fantastic call to arms anthem that has some slight elements of post-hardcore thrown into it. But alas, I'm disappointed by this album, and it's a shame. I had decent hopes for it. I found these dudes a couple of months ago, and you know, I dug what they were doing. I loved their style, and to see this album and just how shallow it is just leaves a sour taste in my mouth. Yeah, there are some decent moments to it, but none of it awed me at all. This album isn't bad, but in no way is it good. It's generic and mediocre at best. So for my final score, I'm giving the NA version of this album a 4 out of 10, and I'm giving the Japanese version a 5 out of 10. A bad review. Great way to start off 2017, Mars. Anyways, like always, please remember that these are just the opinions of an internet super god with the divine powers of a PlayStation 4, a YouTube channel, and a passion for music. If you agreed or disagreed with any of my thoughts, please feel free to share in the comments below. I'd love to see them, love to hear them. If you enjoyed the video and want to leave a like, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want to see more of these reviews or just want to join the team, then the subscribe button is waiting for you. Hope to see you all in the next one. Mars out.
Down here. Hold on, we're coming. Some girl.